Wait. My partner Vince and I have recently visited Victoria Falls, one of our ultimate dream destinations, and we were extremely happy that it finally became a reality. It totally blew us away, and it is one of the highlights of our Africa tour. And the good news is, most foreign nationals, including Filipinos like me, can get an e-visa online. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how. Hey there, poor traveler, I'm Yosh. If you're interested to know more about the places we visited in Africa, we'll be publishing informative travel videos soon, so if you're new to this channel or you're a regular but you haven't subscribed yet, please take the time to show your support by tapping the subscribe button and the bell icon beside it. Then select all so you won't miss out on our new uploads. Okay, going back to Victoria Falls. One thing you need to know about it is that it straddles two countries. It's a massive set of waterfalls along the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia. It's located right here, near the city of Livingstone in Zambia and the town of Victoria Falls on the Zimbabwe side. Both of these areas have their own airports too. Most of the cascades are located in Zambia, including this, the Devil's Pool, which is cradled atop a cliff in Livingstone Island. But most of the lookouts with the most spectacular views are in Zimbabwe. So, if you want to maximize your stay and get the best of both worlds, get a visa for both Zambia and Zimbabwe. And now you can get an e-visa. But wait, what is an e-visa? An e-visa or electronic visa will allow you to enter Zimbabwe or Zambia for a limited period for tourism or business purposes. Nationals of over 100 countries, including the Philippines, can apply for this visa online. No need to go to the embassy. In my case, I had to secure a Zimbabwe e-visa and a separate ZAMBIA eVISA. But there is also a so-called KAZA visa, which is a single visa that will allow you to enter both countries. Think of it as a two-in-one visa. It's more convenient and cheaper since you're only applying and paying for one combined visa. By the way, you can easily apply for a KAZA visa only if you're entering Zambia or Zimbabwe at certain airports and borders. As of this recording, the KAZA visa can only be accepted at the following. Yeah, you can check out your screens. So, why didn't I go for this shiny, sparkling KAZA visa? Because it's only available for citizens of 60 plus countries. You can find the list of eligible countries here or follow the link in the description of this video. Sadly, as some of you might have noticed, the Philippines is not one of those countries. So I had to get two individual visas, which is just fine. So how do we get a Zimbabwe e-visa? Step 1 is to gather all the requirements. Don't worry, it's a very short list. The first document that you need to have is the passport. Of course, it must be valid and you'll be uploading a scanned copy of the bio or info page. Make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months. You also need a passport size photo and proof of accommodation. This can be your hotel booking or if you're staying with a local, proof of residence of your host. You also need an address in Zimbabwe. So this confused me. I didn't know what to upload here. So I think I just uploaded my hotel booking too. And it was accepted. And number 5 is application letter. This is the letter that I submitted. I just replaced some sensitive details. And the letter I crafted was addressed to the Director General of Immigration, Department of Immigration of Zimbabwe. In the letter, I introduced myself and indicated my passport number and address. And in the next paragraph, I explained the purpose of my trip, the airport I'm flying into, our address in Zimbabwe, or at least the address of the hotel in Zimbabwe, the length of stay, and a brief day-to-day itinerary. Then, in the last paragraph, I shared what my job is and the company I work for. We also signed the letter, so it has to have your signature. In my case, there were only 5 documents required. See here, you'll see that only 5 were marked required. But there are optional items that you might want to submit if they apply to you. So these are, if you've been to Zimbabwe before, or if you've been granted a Zimbabwean visa before, then submit your previous visa. If you're staying with the local resident, you also might want to submit an invitation letter from your host. You also need proof of residence of your host and the residential status of your host, which can be a copy of their identity card or residence permit. If they don't apply to you, just ignore them. I ignored because I didn't have any contact in Zimbabwe. I read online that some applicants were asked for proof of funds, but I never encountered that. I was not asked about anything related to finances. Okay, step 2, create a Zimbabwe eVisa website account. And to do that, just head over to the official Zimbabwe eVisa portal, which is evisa.gov.zw or ZW. On the homepage, click on the Start the Process button. And on the next page, click on the No Account Yet button. Fill out the form, enter your email address, and set a password. Make sure to provide a valid email address as this is where you'll receive updates about your application. You should also receive a message in the email you provided right away. So check your email and click on the verification link. So step 3, accomplish the application form online. You should do this at least 3 weeks prior to your target arrival date. You'll be asked for personal information including your passport details, travel itinerary, and purpose of visit. Under purpose of visit, if you're traveling for leisure or tourism, choose holiday visa. And under visa type, your options are single, double, and KAZA. So KAZA is what I explained earlier. If you're visiting Zambia too and you're eligible for a KAZA visa, then go for it. Otherwise, choose either single or double entry visa. I applied for a double entry because we initially planned on doing a day trip to the Devil's Pool in Zambia. And a double entry visa is valid for 3 months. When you've accomplished the form, it's time for step 4. Upload the required documents. So this is the part where you'll be uploading all the requirements we discussed earlier. It's very straightforward. Just click on the item and upload the corresponding document in the space provided. All of the documents I submitted were PDF files. And step 5, submit your application. But make sure you double check that all the details that you entered are correct. You'll be presented a review page, so just look at it and make sure that everything is accurate. And that's it. You'll be notified that your application has been submitted, and you'll also receive an email when your application is approved. So for step 6, all you need to do is wait for the result. If I remember correctly, we didn't get any email notification. So we check the website every day, every single day. According to the website, processing should take up to 7 working days. But in our case, it took 17 days. We submitted our application on July 26 and got the notice of approval on August 12, just 2 or 3 days before our flight. We were actually starting to get worried. It was at the time when the website was being revamped, I think, so maybe it has something to do with the delay. But we had to seek the help of our contacts at Constellation Travels Incorporated. It's a travel agency here in the Philippines, and it was them who followed up with the authorities in Zimbabwe. I think if we didn't reach out to them, we probably wouldn't make it. So yeah, we asked for help from a travel agency, even though we did the application DIY. We were already in Kenya when we finally got the approval. Once you get the approval, print out a copy of your e-visa because you'll be submitting this at the immigration counters. The immigration officer will then fill out and issue you a physical visa sticker which will be affixed to a page of your passport. In our case, our Zimbabwe visa was handwritten. It was the first time that we've seen a handwritten visa. So you might be wondering, didn't you pay for your visa? And I did, but not online. So it was done at the immigration counters. We paid $45 because it's double entry. But for single entry, it's $30. And for KAZA Univisa, it's $50. So yeah, so that's for Zimbabwe eVisa. Now, let's talk about Zambia. So this is how to get a ZAMBIA eVISA. Just like Zimbabwe, make sure you have all the required documents first. So that's step 1, complete all the requirements. In my case, since I was applying as a tourist, these are the only requirements. Again, it's a very short list. Number 1 is passport. Number 2 is passport size photo. Number 3 is a return airline ticket. Number 4 is cover letter to the Director General of Immigration, just like the one for Zimbabwe. If you want to download a copy of this cover letter, visit our website, thepoortraveler.net, or again, you'll find a link in the description below. You'll also notice that hotel booking or proof of accommodation is marked optional on the list, at least for me. But try to still furnish a copy of it for better chances of approval. If you're staying with a Zambia local or a Zambia resident, you'll also be required to submit their passport, NCR copy, or the immigration permit of your host in Zambia. Okay, so step 2, create a ZAMBIA eVISA website account. And to do that, just visit the official ZAMBIA eVISA website at this address here. So don't worry, you'll find all the links that I mentioned in this video in the description. On the website, on the home page, scroll down and find the new application button and click on it. So you'll have to scroll down a little bit. On the next page, click the sign up link right here. Accomplish the form, and when done, tap the register button. You should receive an email to verify your account. So in the email, click on the confirm link to finalize the creation of your account. This account will allow you to track your visa application. And then, log into your account. Let's proceed to step 3. Select the right visa for you. Once logged in, click on the available visas link on the sidebar menu. You'll be presented with a list of visa types and the corresponding prices. Choose the visa that you want to apply for. Then select the Apply for a Visa button at the top. Then complete the application form. You'll be asked to provide the following info. So, your personal information, so your name, birth date, all that jazz. Your work background, your travel details, including your hotel or address in Zambia, and your travel dates, and your purpose of visit. And in the next page, you'll have to upload the supporting documents. So on this page, upload the requirements in the corresponding section. Just click on the pencil icon, and on the pop-up that will appear, enter the name of the file you're uploading in the document title field. The file name and the document title you'll enter should match. Then click Save or Save and Close. If you want to submit more supporting documents that are not really required, you may do so too. Just click the Attach Other Supporting Documents button at the bottom of the table. If everything looks good, click Next. And then it's time to pay the visa fee. So unlike in Zimbabwe, you're gonna have to settle the visa fee online. The price depends on the type of visa, whether it's single entry or multiple entry or whatever, and the duration of your stay. So here are the visa fee rates. Single entry visa is $25. When I say dollars, I mean USD, US dollars. Double entry visa is $40, and multiple entry $75, and the KAZA entry visa is $50. They also have a separate visa for transit, so it costs $25. On top of that, you'll have to pay 0.5 to 1.1% charge. So in my case, since I applied for a double entry visa, I paid 40 USD plus 44 cents, which is the additional charge. You can pay the fee online using a credit card or a debit card. And once paid, you should receive an order confirmation in the email. And when it's travel time, just print the e-visa. Processing usually takes 3 to 5 days according to most online sources. But in my experience, the processing took 6 days. I submitted my application on July 18 and got approval on July 24. But Vince had a different experience. On July 20, he received a notice of reversion of application via email. He panicked a little bit, and we were confused at first, but the letter was instructing to attach a copy of his return ticket or flight booking going out of Zambia. We found it weird and confusing because Vince actually did upload this document when he first completed his application. Our guess was they might have missed the return leg details on the booking. So we submitted like a combined flight booking. There was an exit ticket with it because we were flying to South Africa after, but I think they missed it. So there. So what he did, he simply yellow highlighted the return flight on the same booking and re-uploaded the same file. And his application was approved a few days later. So this proves that evaluators or assessors are just human and can make mistakes too. So make sure your documents are clear and organized. Anyway, once you're granted a visa, print at least 2 copies of it depending on the number of entries that you applied for. The immigration officer usually collects a copy of it upon arrival. And it would be great to keep another copy with you while you're in Zambia. If you're entering the country twice, say you have a double entry visa, then make sure to print an extra copy so you could show the immigration officer upon re-entry. Okay, here's a question. Since everything can be done online, which is better, pull a DIY or do it yourself, or hire a travel agency? Although you can apply for an e-visa on your own, coursing it through a travel agency can be helpful too in a lot of ways. As mentioned, when we applied for a Zimbabwe e-visa, it took 17 days. It was very stressful because our travel dates were drawing near, but we were yet to be granted a visa. So we asked for assistance from our friends at Constellation Travels, one of the most established and most reputable travel agencies in the Philippines. So to be clear, we applied on our own. We did DIY, but we still sought the help of a travel agency when we encountered a problem. Since they have been doing this for a long time, Constellation has been doing this for a long time, they have contacts in both Zimbabwe and Zambia, and they were able to follow up for us and gave us updates. Constellation Travels also offers Zimbabwe and Zambia tours as an add-on only to its South Africa tour package. This will allow you to explore the southern region of Africa better. Just make sure to mention you also want to visit Zimbabwe and Zambia if you want to visit these countries when you avail of the South Africa package, so they could include it in the itinerary. Note that if you're availing of a tour package, visa application is already included, at least most of the time, whether it's for Constellation or any other travel agency offering a travel package. They can apply for e-visas on your behalf. Applying through a travel agency or booking a tour package is great for those who don't have the time, energy, or bandwidth to deal with the whole online application process. If you're interested in hiring Constellation Travels, you can get in touch with them through these contact numbers and email address, or visit their website, constellationtravels.com.ph. In our next video, we'll tackle South Africa visa. If you don't want to miss that, subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, ring the bell, and select all so you're notified when it's out. If you're watching this on Facebook, like and follow this page too. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok. Just search @ThePoorTraveler, single L. We also have a podcast. Follow The Poor Traveler Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That's all for now. Remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it.